This edition of Close Up in Class looks at the Iranian peace process. Mike Lane is the president of Intellifon Strategies, a Northern Virginia-based full-service political consulting firm assisting Republican candidates running for public office. Mike is a longtime member of the Arlington County Republican Committee. Ann Horwitz has a master's degree in international education policy from Harvard University. She spent 2 years teaching in Indonesia on a Fulbright scholarship, before working at UNESCO headquarters in Paris on post-conflict and post-disaster education. She is now pursuing her PhD from the University of Maryland. What is the United States' best strategy for dealing with international threats?
When you're talking about relationships between two countries, you can think of relationships between two people and try to make, the comparison. So if I have a relationship with a person and it's based on mutual respect, then doing things for each other and getting along with each other is much easier. We respect each other and we have similar goals and ends in mind. But if I tell somebody, well, you have to do what I want or I'm not going to give you money, they may end up doing what I want, or they may not, but they may end up doing what I want, but they're not going to respect me. And that's only going to give us more problems down the line. It's going to breed resentment, it's going to breed hostility in the relationship, and in the long run, there's just going to be more problems down the road. So that's true of interpersonal relationships, and I honestly think it's true of bigger relationships on the world stage. If we carry a big stick with Iran, getting back to Teddy Roosevelt, right? He said, walk softly and carry a big stick. I understand the sentiment behind that. But if we just carry a big stick with Iran and say, listen, you got to do as we say, or we're going to hit you with this stick, they may or may not do what we say. But even in the best case outcome, where they do what we say, they're not going to be doing it because they like us. They're not going to be doing it because they respect us. And they're not going to be doing it because we have similar ends and goals in mind. So I always say that diplomacy is the way to go. I mean, statecraft is an important part of governance.
Well, the thing we have to do is first recognize the international threat for what it is. It's very serious, and not just sort of dismiss it as some, difference of opinion between countries. There are terrorists out there that wish us harm for no other reason other than we are the United States of America. And we have to take those threats very, very seriously, and we have to be aggressive about protecting Americans and our homeland from these threats. What I think we ought to do is an aggressive program seeking out the terrorists and destroying them overseas rather than waiting for them to come here to the United States. One thing I'll compliment President Obama on is the fact that he has been very, very good in terms of using drones to seek out these terrorists, their bases, their training camps, and to try and destroy them in place, which I think is very, very good. Alternatively, there are those who would argue that we are being too aggressive, that we are creating enemies, that we are creating more terrorists by taking the fight to them overseas. I disagree with that. I think these people are against us anyway. I think it's very, very serious ideology that causes them to hate us, and they are going to come after us whether we leave them alone or not. And so we have to be aggressive towards going after them.